contained in its order has led to the failure of the distribution companies to meet their operational obligations. Widespread customer dissatisfaction undermines their ability to uphold market discipline and endanger the long-term financial sustainability of the utilities. The imposition of the consequential regulatory intervention specified in this order shall not be construed as a limitation or foreclosure of the power of the Commission to impose any other enforcement sanction under the Electricity Act or any other regulatory instrument. The Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubimi Kuku, has stated that only 3 out of 22 airports under its management are profitable and contributed largely to the growth of the aviation sector. Kuku said that 19 of the nation's airports under FAN were being subsidized as they do not get passenger traffic commensurate to their operational costs. She further said that the majority of the 22 airports managed by FAN require maintenance and upgrades in critical infrastructure like the terminal areas, the land side as well as the air side. The revelation by the FAN MD tallies with findings by earlier reports that only 4 out of over 30 airports in the country are economically viable, contributing to 557 trillion naira to foreign trade in 51 months. The 4 airports, which include Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Murtala Mohammed Airport, Kano and Port Harcourt, contributed a sum of 529.68 billion naira in total exports and 5.05 trillion naira in imports between January 2020 and March 2024. These statistics indicate that most airports are not economically viable to support foreign trade, despite plans by various state governments to commence construction of airports purportedly to attract trade. She also mentioned that FAN was working closely with the international organizations such as the International Air Transport Association and the Federal Minister of Aviation to enhance domestic and international routes expansions. Kuku also noted that there were ongoing initiatives aimed at developing Nigeria and transforming specific airports within the country into transit hubs. Kuku emphasized the importance of prioritizing activities like trade, manufacturing, and tourism to boost airport traffic. That's it on Business Today. Many thanks for watching. I am Lois Yotiong. Do stay tuned for the rest of the bulletin.
Thanks, Lois. We're now on to a break. When we come back, international news. Please stay with us.
Benway Fashion Show Season 3 is here.
It's that time of the year for fashion designers, entrepreneurs, and fashion enthusiasts to shine.
This year, sale of forms for the competition begins from 15th April to 19th July 2024.
Pick a form at Benway Television, located at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makudi. Form costs 5,000 naira only.
Stage 1 screening begins on the 6th of July 2024. Great prizes await you.
The first prize, 1 million naira. Second prize, 500,000 naira. And third prize, 300,000 naira. All prizes are inclusive of cash and fashion tools. Also, consolation prizes and gift items.
For sponsorship, partnership, and inquiries, please call Benway TV Marketing on 0906 188 9838 or 0703 794 5569.
Benway Fashion Show,
embracing fusion fashion.
Welcome back. Glad you're still with us on Benue Television News at 7. We now move on to the international scene where Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has met Sudan's Armed Forces Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan as regional and world powers seek an end to the conflict between the military and paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF). Sudan has been racked by war since April 2023, when fighting erupted between forces loyal to al-Burhan and the RSF led by his former deputy, Mohamed Dagalo. Ahmed's visit to the Red Sea coastal town of Port Sudan, where the army-aligned government is based, is the highest-level state visit since the start of the conflict, which is threatening to destabilize the region, displace millions of people, and created the world's largest humanitarian crisis. Sudan's Sovereign Council in a statement said that the meeting was a testament to the depth of relations between the two countries. The council said that al-Burhan briefed Ahmed on what he called the crimes and atrocities committed by the RSF as part of its rebellion against the state and its institutions. Both sides have been accused of committing war crimes by United Nations officials and international rights groups. Observers say al-Burhan's camp has largely shunned East African mediation attempts to end the war, accusing regional leaders of siding with the RSF. The United Nations Refugee Agency UNHCR said an estimated 10 million people have been forcibly displaced in Sudan since the war broke out, while about 7.7 million people are displaced internally. More than 2 million have fled to neighboring countries. According to the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification (IPC), Sudan is facing the worst food crisis in its history, with more than 755,000 people facing catastrophe in 10 out of 18 states. Meanwhile, a court in Moscow has issued an arrest warrant for the widow of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny on charges of extremism. The charges brought against Yulia Navalnaya, who lives outside Russia in absentia, are to do with her alleged participation in an extremist society. Navalny was Russia's most significant opposition leader of the past decade. He died in February in an Arctic Circle jail, while Russian authorities said he died of natural causes. His widow said Navalny had been tortured, starved, cut off, and killed by Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Navalny had been serving 19 years on extremism charges that were widely seen as politically motivated. The Moscow court ruled that Navalnaya, who has vowed to continue the work of her husband, should be remanded in custody. The decision means she would face arrest if she set foot in Russia. According to analysts, the charges may be linked to a Moscow court ruling in July 2021, which outlawed 3 organizations linked to Navalny, labeling them extremists. Navalnaya was unable to attend her husband's funeral in March. She has since met a number of Western leaders, including United States President Joe Biden. This month, she was elected to chair the U.S.-based Human Rights Foundation, a non-profit organization working to promote and protect human rights across the world. She has vowed to use her role to step up the struggle her husband fought against Russia's president. While the Israeli military says it hit a Hezbollah site deep inside Lebanese territory, the latest in a volley of strikes between the two sides. In a post on Telegram on Wednesday, Israel's military said the attack targeted one of the Lebanese group's air defense systems near the central village of Jantal, which is located about 79 kilometers from the capital, Beirut. This marked a deeper than usual incursion into Lebanese territory, where most of the attacks have so far been confined to the south. Israel's Air Force also attacked a Hezbollah air defense site in the southern town of Barachit and a weapons depot in the Kfar Kila area. The spate of strikes comes a day after Israel and Hezbollah traded fire in Syria and the Golan Heights. A Hezbollah official who spoke to newsmen said one of the victims was a former bodyguard of the group's leader Hassan Nasrallah. According to Israeli police, in retaliation, Hezbollah fired rockets at an Israeli military base in the Golan Heights, killing 2 people. According to a professor in conflict and humanitarian studies at Qatar Foundation's Hamad bin Khalifa University, Sultan Barakat, while there have been nearly daily attacks between Hezbollah and Israel since the start of the Gaza war, they are still part of a policy deterrence towards each other. Barakat added that Israel has demonstrated to Hezbollah what it is capable of doing by attacking Gaza, and Israeli ministers are repeatedly threatening to do so to Lebanon, what they have done to Gaza. Let's now join Loretta Uko for weather report.
Hello, and here is the weather report for Thursday. Let's quickly look at the weather here in Benue State. We anticipate sunny periods and light passing clouds that do not affect the sunny weather all through the day over parts of Makudi, Otukpo, Boko, Kasinala. Temperatures low around 27 degrees Celsius and high around 37 degrees Celsius. Humidity of 48% with 37% precipitation. We envisage several clouds but also several good sunny periods during the day in the Federal Capital Territory, with risk of rain falling and thunder outbreaks at the end of the evening towards the night hours. Temperatures vary between 25 degrees Celsius low and 34 degrees Celsius high. And for those living in Ekiti State, the sky will be overcast with slight tendency of improvement during the day, with risk of rain falling at the end of the morning towards the evening periods, with mist and fog at night hours. Temperatures low around 25 degrees Celsius and high around 32 degrees Celsius. That's it from here. Join us again for another package. I am Loretta Uko.
Thanks for the updates, Loretta. Well, that brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, let's take another look at the top stories. The headlines: we saw that Governor Hyacinth Alia has flagged off 2024 cropping season. We also saw that President Bola Tinubu has sworn in 8 federal permanent secretaries. And on the international scene, Ethiopian Prime Minister has sought end to conflict between Sudan's military and rapid support forces. Well, that was Benue Television News at 7. Thanks for watching. I am Susan Atching. Do have a lovely evening as you stand by for news in all the languages. Good night.